Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to the report featuring both myself and Peng for the playoff edition of the Chaos Elite Series League, whatever you want to call it, report here. And yeah, this is potentially the final one. We'll also be doing the reports award show a few minutes after. We'll take a quick little break once we do finish this. Peng, it has been a 5 long weeks here. How are you feeling as we get to potentially the last time we may talk to these people?
Feeling good. I'm excited for playoffs though. Gonna be interesting.
Fair enough, but let us get into it with you recapping a game that you did watch a little bit of. It was also the match of the week of when we predicted it, but it didn't feel like it turned out that way. It is Tethered Esports versus Holy Bonkers.
Okay, I won't lie, I was not really watching it. I was slightly paying attention for like the first map, but let's just get into it. Holy Bonkers 2-0. This was the match for the first seed. Whoever won this game was gonna end up the first seed in Group Chaos, and Holy Bonkers came out swinging 13-6 on Haven and then a 15-13 win on Ascent. Our MVP is Lego Grippy, who had a 278 ACS, 188 ADR, 1.29 rating, and a KDA of 47.39. I will also say this guy was farming a lot of first bloods in both maps. He was op merchant basically, and just killing them off the rip every round.
Yeah, I mean, Lego has looked very, very good in the recent weeks, especially, and this rest of the team just has really stepped up. I believe this was also a very close call on who to give the MVP to overall, but either way, I mean, Holy Bunkers are currently looking like a very, very good team and potentially even the team to beat. But that was a very dominant series from themselves, and we'll bring them into playoffs as that first seed, like you mentioned. Black Flash versus Saber, a match, unfortunately, that didn't matter in the long run. Black Flash need to beat Saber to make a chance to get into the playoffs, but they do defeat them 13 to 10 in both maps 2-0. The MVP is going to be Zai, 262 ACS, 113 rating, 160 ADR with a 45, 35, and 8 record. I mean, they made a good effort, but unfortunately, it just did not matter here for Black Flash.
Yeah, they at least gave themselves a chance for playoffs. They had to win this match for a chance. It's just unfortunate that the result on the other side was just not in their favor.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if they can't show. I'm excited to see them if they do show up in another tournament. But either way, for now, our next series is WGW Violet versus Nexus Black.
Yeah, I think this was also an important match for seeding. I don't know the implications, but I think if Nexus won, which they did, they secure second seed, and if WGW won, it would have been a three-way tie. So it would have gone to like map differential and round differential. But anyways, Nexus Black, a quick 2-0, 14-12 on Breeze, and then a 13-7 win on Pearl. Our MVP is Santi, I think this is his first one, 262 ACS, 171 ADR, a 1.28 rating, and KDA of 44, 25, and 6.
I can actually verify that. Yes, it is Santi's first one, mainly because Nexus Black haven't played the most games in the world. I think, well, they have played a good amount actually, but Santi didn't play in that week one, which makes it difficult. But very solid player, and Santi's right. But WGW, unfortunately, with that loss, will be in the lower bracket to start the playoffs, which is going to be a big hill to climb on, and teams definitely are going to be underrating them. But for now, it is going to be looking at the next game, Banana Tree versus Arc Rose Toy. Another one where it looked like it could be close, and one that you and I believe, both predicted Banana Tree to win, but Arc Rose will come back from their losses and win this one out 2-0 as in map 1, 13 to 5 on Haven, 14 to 12 in overtime on Ascent. ACS 231, rating 0.93, and an ADR 150 for Tech with a 37, 20, or 32 and 4. The big thing with this series is that it was the numbers may not really realize it, but it was very close at the end of the day, and overall Tech will be able to take that MVP, as that is going to be all the games that happened this week because of those forfeits that happened, like we mentioned last week here. So let's get on to the standings and first discuss Group Chaos, where the first seed is Holy Bonkers 4-1. Then three teams tie with a 3-2 record: Arc Rose, Tethered Esports Black, and Banana Tree Black. In the elimination, it is Black Flash and Ear Saber Apex. But Peng, there was that big thing here. Arc Rose needed to win, and somehow, even though they've had a terrible couple of last weeks, they beat Banana Tree, and they somehow got that second seed.
Yeah, because they started off so hot with a 2-0, they were able to build themselves a little cushion. So losing two games was still okay. They were 2-2, still in contention for a playoff spot. And thank God they won their last match because now they jump to the second seed, which is great because now they can start in the upper bracket rather than if they think Banana Tree have to start in the lower bracket now
Mm-hmm.
since they lost.
Which just feels so bad because Banana Tree really had a lot riding on them. I mean, heck, they were one of those top teams for the first few weeks, but unfortunately, only two losses will hurt them at the end of the day, but we'll see how they are going to be able to bounce back in playoffs. As now we look at Group Elite 2 with your 10-foot bus team 5-0 heading into the playoffs here. The President's Trophy curse, one might say,
Yo,
if anyone
stop.
knows that from hockey. Nexus Black taking second seed 4-1, Infinite Zero 3-2 from getting two wins in the last 2 weeks from forfeits, and WGW Violet going 2-3, going in the lower bracket. Adrenaline has already forfeited, like I mentioned 2 weeks ago, and Slip and Slide forfeited this week because the only match happened for Group Elite was WGW versus Nexus Black. And hey, this is an interesting group. Playoffs are going to do a spell, and it's kind of crazy how Infinite Zero kind of barely got dodged by Tethered Esports, and now they have to verse Arcros, who have been the shakier team as of late. I feel like they definitely got a bit blessed by Arcros winning, just based off how these last weeks have been.
Yeah, if you actually go see the playoff bracket, one side of it's going to be like hell, and the other side looks like a cakewalk. But this group was fairly straightforward. It wasn't as interesting as the other group, so I don't have a lot to say about it with all the FFs that happened. And it's just, yeah, it's kind of boring. Let's
Um,
just move on.
yeah, I'm so excited though to watch Tethered Esports Black versus Nexus Black. That's gonna be fun, but we'll get to that in our rankings coming up. But of course, now we are going to get to our good old interactive part of this. We have, though, this time around already talked about which teams we think are going to be in our top 8 team power rankings. Because, hey, we're in the playoffs now. We don't need to think about all these other eliminated teams because there's only 8 remaining in this tournament. And you know what? Let's start off with talking about one of them here. Number 8 coming in as our least powerful prediction. A team that we've had high hopes for when they beat Adrenaline, but right now it has felt like the kind of hype has fell off of WGW. What's your thoughts on Violet, where it,
Yeah.
it hasn't been the best of times?
Yeah, they have a hard road ahead of him considering they're starting the lower bracket. I think the thing that doesn't do it for me is I think all their losses came from all the playoff teams, so all the teams above them, which is not a really good thing if you really think about it because they haven't beaten a playoff team. So that's going to be a problem. And, once they get that matchup, they're probably going to lose considering, yeah, they haven't beaten a playoff team. I said that 3 times. I emphasize it.
Yeah, I mean, it is also kind of hard to beat a playoff team when the entire group is just eh. But either way, I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, WW have only beaten the teams that have been eliminated. So that is going to be the big question mark coming into it. And we'll get to another team where you could say almost the exact same thing, where 2 out of 3 of these wins were just forfeits of the other team not participating. And of course, they did beat WGW in that week number 2. It is going to be Infinite Zero coming in at number 7, which I also think can be enough said against WGW, but also Zero has had 2 weeks off. We have no idea what they are going to be doing coming into playoffs here. They are a gigantic question mark.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple roster swaps from them, so maybe that instills some confidence in them. However, after playing them, I still don't see. Oh, what happened to your screen?
Don't worry about
I
it.
still don't see them going very far. They do have an easier matchup, in my opinion, against Argos Toy to start out their playoff run. However, I just don't think it's going to pan out too much for them.
Yeah, we'll get to now teams that have fallen off in the other group. Now we're gonna go to Banana Tree Black coming in at 6, a team that we had some big high hopes for, but again, like we mentioned, that loss against Arcros kind of feels really bad because I mean, man, we had a lot of hype, and now they're down to the lower bracket, and that also just lowers their stock because they could be eliminated at any time, and they really don't have two lives now.
Yeah, I think we were very high on Banana Tree coming into the fifth week, and not so much Arc Rose. They were kind of a downhill trend. So Arc Rose beating Banana Tree just lowered Banana Tree Black stocks so low that you just can't put them any higher than where they're placed right now.
Another team we really can't put higher either is going to be Arc Rose Toy, a team that did beat Banatry, so they do get that tier. But I mean, it's been rough for them, and yes, they do get that bounce back, but we need to see a little bit more. At least they now have two lives. They get the verse Infinite Zero, who honestly, it could be a very close series depending on how it works. But I think we still know from what we've seen in the past, from Tech, from Seal, even from players like Sunset, where we know there is a lot of stability there. They just need to put it all together, like we did see earlier in this series.
Yeah, I believe form has been a big problem for them these last 3 weeks. Even in the Banana Tree Black game, they didn't look particularly good. But winning this game, a sigh of relief. They have two lives, as you said, and we'll see what they can do. Hopefully, they can bring it back, reignite some of that week one and two form.
Another team here is now going to be potentially controversial coming into this one because you could make a case for them being higher for sure. It's going to be Nexus Black coming in at number 4, a very strong team. They brought in a player named Kian, who I'm very excited to see. But for now, I think because their group is that weak on quote unquote, for now they will be number 4. Santi feels like they have played a lot better as of late, but they are definitely going to be the dark horse to win CES this time around, I believe.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see a lot more from these other players besides Santi. I don't think we've seen enough from their players. They need a big step up here. Adding Keen as a into their roster has probably improved their chances at winning playoffs. So we'll see what we see from them going forward. Hopefully, we see better performances from I see Bushy and Squiz, more consistency there.
And now for our round 1 matchup to just tie it all together, Tethered Esports Black X Betrayed Ember members from Tethered, from Nexus Black will be fighting against each other in that round number 1, which we'll get to very soon as well. But this is going to be very interesting as a round 1 matchup because both these teams are so good. Tethered did stumble against Holy Bonkers this week, but we just know how good Holy Bonkers has currently been for now. So I'm overall worthy to give them a pass, but I don't think they can go below number 4. I think these two are very interchangeable.
Yeah, I think the Betrayed Ember players, they're very good. I think they'll step up big in playoffs. This just sucks that one of them are going to be knocked down to the lower bracket and have to make that long run very early into the playoffs, which really sucks. But, it's just the cards you're dealt and you have to deal with the challenges that come up. So good luck to both of them. Thank God for us.
It's going to be very entertaining, though. And now we're going to do with something that I had to kind of talk to Ping about before, but at number 2 coming into this, and it is actually going to be 10-foot bus coming in. They had a forfeit week off. Yes, they're coming in as 5-0, but like I mentioned, the group difference is so major, and I think you can make a case for why this is going to be happening today. Yes, they are the undefeated team, but right now, I mean, I'm a bit worried for you guys, for especially having a week off, but also your team has been a bit, or your team has versed a bit weaker in competition throughout the series so far, and now playoffs are going to be a bit scary, it feels like.
I have no comment.
All
You'll
right.
just have to wait and see. You'll just have to wait and see. All I have to say.
Number 1, though, of course, is of course going to be Holy Bonkers. I don't think that you can make a different case for this right now. Coming into power wise, Holy Bonkers have absolutely destroyed the competition after losing to Banana Tree in week 1. They have looked so much better. They have just completely destroyed all the quote unquote good teams like Arc Rose, like Tethered, who I said I needed to see them step up against, and they were able to do that here, so I think this is a good way to do it, and maybe it'll also take the curse off a 10-foot bus, but I believe ultimately they will both be screwed because I don't pick winners to win the championships. But anyway, that is going to be it for this section of the report. Let's get to the player power rankings, which we have gone back down to 10 here, Peng. How confident are you that we got these right and totally won't anger these people?
Probably not. There's gonna be some people mad. I think everyone on this list can make a case for being top five, maybe top three, but it's okay. We love to anger the people anyways.
Oh, just wait till we get to the award show here, but we will have to see what does end up happening overall. Number 10 is going to be Tech from Arc Rose Toy. I think has been the best player down the bad stretch for Arc Rose. And I think you do have to give the flowers. I think the duelist crop throughout this entire season is just so good that, I mean, these players really have just run the entire series so far.
Yeah, I think Tech has been overshadowed a lot by some of the bigger names in this list above him, but he's kept it consistent. He's kept his team basically in the running for playoffs, and now that they've made it, they have a chance. But I'd love to see people from the first week and second week who played really well come back to form, such as Seal and Sunset. But 10 is nice for him.
And to number 9, we get to see it is going to be Souls for 10-foot bust. Souls, very solid player, another duelist, but for 10-foot bust this time, I don't think you can say too much. I think has been solid throughout, but I think there has just been better players that have just constantly toppled over him overall. And overall, I mean, yeah, Souls has been just really good.
Yeah, once again, the duelist crop, there's so many good ones. It's hard to order them, but I think he's been probably top five duelist in the league. It's just the way things go. If he really wants to be higher, you gotta wait to playoffs. Maybe just light a fire in him and he actually plays well. I'm joking, he's played well. Played better. Play like a goat.
Yeah, totally not here as a Nepo pick because they're one of the owners of the league. Number 8 is going to be Santi for NXG here. A very good player in their own right. Had a quiet season, I'll say. Has definitely kept asking me why they aren't here, but I believe Santi has finally proved themselves to at least be in this here. And we'll see if Santi can continue to do well throughout this series and is one of those powerhouses from NXG, and I believe their only player going to be showing up in the top 10. But like we mentioned, they have a player named Kian, but we need to actually see Kian play to see if he can do that. But anyway, yeah, Santi's going to be at number 8 here.
I feel like he's had a very sleeper kind of progression in this rankings. I don't think we've put him a whole lot on these rankings, but he's had some really good games, I feel. And so, yeah, he's going to be the main player, I feel, for NXG. I think Kian's going to be also very important, but, props to him, I feel. He's played well throughout.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how Nexus Black ultimately do play. But at number 7, it is going to be Yogan from 10-foot bus, very good controller player. As we've had 2 controller players in a row? Question mark. I forget what Santi plays, but
He's
yeah,
controller.
yeah, it's 10-foot buzz Yogan, very solid player. Again, has just had a pretty standard, pretty good just tournament in general here, and will be our second 10-foot bus player on the ranking. But I know you don't want to glaze your guys too much before
Whoa,
we get
whoa,
into it
whoa.
because it.
I will glaze Yogan. He's been very good. Kind of like Santi. He's been very sleeper build type play.
Yeah, of course. But number 6 here for this player power ranking is going to be Frame from Tether. It has dropped a little bit because, of course, they did just kind of get destroyed by Holy Bonkers. But Frame has been their best player throughout this entire series. Will they be able to stand up to competition, though, is going to be that big question. I believe their side of the group is absolutely scary. So it is going to be like the Central in this year's NHL playoffs, where things are going to get very difficult very fast.
Yeah, kind of like Tech. He's been keeping his team a lot of time in the running for maybe more of a higher seed in playoff, but we're gonna have to see more from the other players who are unfortunately not on this list.
Yeah, at number 5, we are going to get our first Holy Bonkers player. It is going to be Lego Grippy Socks, who honestly could definitely have a option to be higher in general. Is a very good Jet player, probably the best Jet player here. But at the end of the day, I think there are a lot good players in this term that are duelists in general, which of course we're getting to. But Lego, one of the standout players throughout the series in general.
Oh, don't listen. You're number one in my heart. I'm joking, but this guy's a first blood machine. Like, oh my god, he's a op merchant, but he gets like killed a lot of the time. So I think from 5 to 1, all of these people are interchangeable on their best day.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm excited to see if they will be able to get better. As Gizmo, of course, coming in at number 4, another duelist player, another very good player that is very consistent here. Gizmo will be the top player coming into this with 10-foot bus. Obviously, could be higher if you guys did play that last week, but I think Gizmo can understand that he wants to be just slightly, just slightly lower than those top guys, so we can just say, haha, see, I am the best duelist, because overall we know Gizmo is that good. But yeah, I expect Gizmo to absolutely surpass expectations.
Yeah, I think the week off really tanked his stock because a lot of the players above him had a really good week, which skyrocketed their stocks.
Yeah, and at number 3, it is going to be Zenith from Holy Bonkers, a guy that, I mean, hey, Zenith has gone absolutely nuclear here, them and Grumpy Socks, but is still not the highest Holy Bonkers player on this list. But either way, I mean, throughout this season, Zenith has gotten better and better, was one of those stand-up players, I believe, in the loss to Banana Tree Black, and I think does just overall deserve from how much this team has played to just be in this current position here.
Yeah, I think you described it perfectly. He's just a very, very good player. That's all I have to say. He's similar to Gizmo. He plays that Phoenix role. He's like the second duelist in a sense. So, yeah, I think he was slightly better than Gizmo throughout the season. Just slightly, though.
At number 2, it is going to be Kraz from Banana Tree Black, our only Banana Tree Black entrant on this. Didn't have the craziest week from this series that they lost to Rhodes, but I think Kraz is definitely the best player for Banana Tree that played in that game, and I mean has just been solid throughout. Has won many MVPs. Only reason they didn't get their third MVP is just because we kind of wanted something a bit different, but whatever about that. Kraz, definitely a very good player. Definitely, again, like we said before, very interchangeable with all these other duelists here. But bang, I should get to you. You can explain Kraz a little bit. But besides that,
Explain what? He has
uh,
no help? Is
uh,
that what you want to
yeah,
explain?
Kraz has no help. But besides that, there are only one player that is above these players here that I think you and I did have a common consensus on, and they are not a duelist, surprisingly. All these players in the top 6 so far are for the most part duelists. Almost every player is a duelist here, except for Yogan, Santi, and now our number 1 player coming into playoffs, the IGL of Holy Bonkers, Avery here, who is kind of just come out and going crazy here. Like they have been going bonkers. I'll stop. They've been doing very well throughout the season. I believe they're the IGL from what I've been told too. So just being able to put the numbers they're doing and just in general being able to IGL at the same time has really just shown up, and especially from an eye test has looked really good.
Yeah, just solid throughout. His stats are insane. You watch his game, he's insane. He's basically the same player as like Zenith and Lego Grippy. However, he's pulling stats like crazy. Fuck, I can't speak, but he's pulling off crazy stats while IGLing his team, which has been very successful, which I believe is a good reason why he should be number one here.
Yeah, and it has been a very interesting time. But let's continue in the final parts of this good old area of our report here, where all these whiny bitches in the chat can continue to complain. It is the playoff predictions for you and I. Looking at the matchups here, it is Nexus Black versus Tethered, Arc Rose versus Infinite Zero. What would you like to get to first as we unveil these?
Uh, let's do the quote unquote worst matchup. Let's do the Arc Rose and Infinite Zero. Let's see what you got there.
All right, so I don't know if yours. I actually don't even remember mine, but I also don't remember yours. But I do have Arcros beating Infinite Zero and will be going down. And Infinite Zero will go down to verse Banana Tree here. I haven't seen Infinite Zero play. I don't know what form they are going to have into this year, but it could be a fun series. I mean, we'll have to overall figure that out. But Let me see what you got here because guess what? You also predicted. What do you predict?
What did I predict? What do you think?
Wow,
The
crazy.
exact same thing. Well, I think this one's like still 50-50. I don't know what kind of form Arcros Toy is going to come into this game, and seeing nothing from Infinite Zero, it's just, I have no clue. I think purely off of the first 2 weeks, I just give the edge to Arcros Toy. Hopefully if they still have the same form as they did that time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very intrigued to see what ultimately this series will provide us. Hopefully, a lot of good fights in general because Arcos has been that bad, but we know Infinite Zero. They did beat WGW, but we need to see what they can do now. We haven't seen them play, so I'm intrigued ultimately, as we'll get to Tethered Esports Black versus Nexus Black here, and now we are gonna start something I call the key indifference because I do have Nexus Black beating Tethered probably in a 2-1 series here, meaning Tethered will go down against WGW Violet. Kian is a special player. Nexus Black have ex B3 players. It's a B3 versus B3, and I'm excited to see what they are going to do overall. And you have Tethered beating. So what is your thoughts?
I'm more confident that like the core that's been together for so long will pull through in playoffs like they always do. That is my belief here. They've had a bumpy road to get the playoffs, but I think they'll just pull it together like they normally do come playoff time.
Fair enough overall. And now we get to I don't remember how I did this at all here. All right, we'll start off with no, we'll do the winner of WGW Violet versus Nexus Black. A interesting series. We'll start off with you first, because why not? You have Nexus Black winning. Tell me your thoughts on that.
This is just Key and Masterclass, basically. That's all I gotta say. I don't think WGW have shown enough, like I said, from the regular season to convince me that they can be a playoff caliber team, let alone a top four team with Kian on the roster. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair. And that is also, for the most part, my thoughts, but in favor of Tethered, where I do have them beating WGW. We have not seen WGW do enough, unfortunately. So we both have them being eliminated here. Now, it is Infinite Zero versus Banana Tree Black, where Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Whoops. Wait. I don't know. Did I put it upside down? Oh, I did put it upside down. All right. I have Banana Tree beating them. I don't know why I did that upside down. That was an accident. I have Banana Tree beating Infinite Zero. Haven't seen Infinite Zero play. I think that's just purely a thing of I have no idea what this team is. I've seen enough Banana Tree. I've seen enough Kraz and the rest of the team to just know they do have a team. I believed in Calisso before in my fantasy, and it just did not go well. So it is what it is. And now we'll see what you have the offer here for this. Oh, you put it
It's the
properly.
same
You put
thing.
Banetry as well.
We're just Infinite Zero haters. Let's just go next. They
I'm
hate us.
sorry, Wishy. I'm sorry. I appreciate you showing up to the stream though. All right. So I guess now that we got to that, we need to see who's going to be joining, at least for you, Nexus Black, in that for 10-foot bus versus Arc Rose, you have 10-foot bus winning. Who would have guessed? What's your thoughts?
Oh, Arco's toy. Their form is not consistent enough to convince me that they can give us a big enough challenge or even beat us. So I'm just confident in us being able to just overcome any challenge that are thrown at us, and yeah, we're just gonna beat them. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, same thing for me overall. I also have you guys being Arcros. We need to see more from them. Will they get it done? Who knows? Because again, Group A is a bit more interesting. Whatever the group is called, I don't really care at this point. But yeah, we will definitely see how that does go. And now that I realize I messed everything up, since everyone already saw what I had for Holy Bonkers versus Nexus Black, let me get to it. Holy Bonkers versus Nexus Black for my bracket. Holy Bonkers are going to win, I believe, probably in a 2-0-2-1 fashion. And then they will be versing Banana Tree Black. Yeah, I think Holy Bonkers have just been that good. I don't think it really matters who they verse in these early stages of the playoffs. I do think they have been the better team, and I am excited to see what Nexus Black has in store for the rest of playoffs because I am quite high on them, mainly because that one player, like I mentioned before. But let's get to yours, where in your Tethered Esports Black versus Holy Bonkers, you also have Holy Bonkers. What's your thoughts?
It's just the same thing. I just think Holy Bonkers have individually and macro wise have played a lot better. And since the whatchamacallit, the matchup that they had was in the final week, I don't think the form can change so much where Holy Bonkers make a huge dip here. So I just think it might even be a just a 2-0 here again for Holy Bonkers.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what these players do got cooking, but now we get to see some more interesting things as the winner for you for this upper or let's do the lower first. Let's do the lower first. Between Arc Rose Toy and Nexus Black, you have winning is Nexus Black. Tell me your thoughts once more.
Yeah, Arcros Toy have been way too inconsistent to actually gauge a proper understanding of how they're going to play. Therefore, I don't have them winning. Plus, like we've said a lot, Kian is going to be playing for Nexus Black. That's just a huge bonus for them and higher their chances of winning. So I just think this is a no-brainer here.
Yeah, fair enough. And mine would be Tethered versus Arc Rose, and I do have them with the rematch beating Arc Rose Toy. And I just think Tethered are a very strong team overall still. I do definitely underrate them a bit more than I should, but I mean, both of these teams kind of fell off a little bit of the cliff in the later weeks, it feels like. And this is going to be a very fun matchup, personally, for me, of Arc Rose versus Tethered rematch. But next up, we get one that is similar for both of us, kind of. I mean, it's Nexus Black for me versus Banana Tree. I have Nexus Black, personally, for me, winning this one out in a probably 2-1 again type fashion. But for you, is also quite interesting as you also have Tethered making it back as our lower round threes actually become very insane.
Yeah, I just don't see Banana Tree making it past Tethered, considering their regular season matchup was literally a wipe. So I just don't see enough from Banana Tree to be able to overcome Tethered at this point in the playoffs.
That is totally fair, totally fair. But now we get to see who we think is going to win between Holy Bonkers and 10-foot bus. Things get spicy. I don't know if we put this in the right order, but either way, you have your team winning and making the grand final. What's your thoughts on that big Holy Bonkers matchup where it is the Clash of the Titans?
Well, it's gonna go player for player who's gonna be ready on the day and who's gonna be in form. And I think we will be in similar form to Holy Bonkers, and you got to bet on yourself that you're gonna pull out this win. So I just think we'll win. That's all I have to say. No hate to Holy Bonkers though; they're a good team.
That is fair enough, but unfortunately for you, I've picked Holy Bonkers to take this one as well. Where if you look at our player power rankings, we have three of Holy Bonkers in the top five. That you guys have one measly, very strong Gizmo, but it is going to be a fun series. I think probably going to be the series. I think this is almost a guaranteed upper final matchup, and I think it is going to be that series of the entire tournament here. It could be super fun, and I'm very excited to see what we do got going for that. But moving on to the lower final, for me, it is going to be Tethered versus Nexus Black. For you, it's going to be Nexus Black versus Tethered. Of course, just finding each other on different sides of the bracket. I do have Nexus Black beating Tethered in a 2-1 fashion. I believe Nexus Black is going to have quite the run here, but I think it's going to be very close runs. I think this team is going to get at the skin of their teeth. I think they're going to come in with a lot of moxie and come in with a lot of momentum off these games. And like I say, the key in difference is going to put this team over the line personally for me. But let us get to yours here as well, where you have Nexus Black as well beating Tethered.
Yeah, since these teams are like so close together and they're all betrayed Embers player, I think it's going to be very hard for Tether to come out twice beating the same team. So that's just how I see it. It's hard to beat the same team twice, especially in such a short period of time. So I'm going to put Nexus here winning.
And of course, we have our next series, Holy Bonkers Nexus Black, a banger of a series. You have 10-foot bus in the grand finals with a rematch versus Holy Bonkers. How do you think this series will go versus the upper final?
Uh, I think the double map ban will come into effect pretty hard here. That's a huge advantage in a grand final. I think that's why we'll be able to come through. We'll be pretty comfortable on the maps that we keep in the map pool.
What do you think the
And
series
I'm
score will
kind of
be?
series score
Mm-hmm.
like a calm 3-1.
Calm 3-1. Okay. But yeah, you obviously have your team winning. Who would have
Like
guessed?
like
Ooh.
like what am I supposed to say? We're gonna
Yeah,
lose?
yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
you're right.
Going to mine though, 10-foot bus versus Nexus Black. I unfortunately have 10-foot bus taking the L this time. I mean, hey, your guys' series was or was decently close back when you guys versus each other in the regular season. It was a 2-1 effort, but Nexus Black, they have the key in factor. And with the key in factor in the rematch of upper semifinal, I have Nexus Black taking the underdog story to win the playoffs. It is not going to happen most likely because I'm predicting it, but welcome to the playoff curse as this is going to be the entire report. Now, Peng, any closing thoughts in general about yours or my predictions?
For yours, it's like you just love this key and magic that's going on. Like you just love it.
He's won 3 tournaments in a row that I was casting. He doesn't lose.
Three? What's the
Sorry.
third one? Is
He's
it
won
two?
2 tournaments in a row that I was casting.
Okay, you're tripping.
Maybe a little
You
bit.
think this one's gonna be the third, don't you?
I honestly, I think this is gonna be a fun 3-2. I think this could go back and forth. I think Nexus Black's gonna go down 4-8 in map 3 or in map 5, and then win it out in general. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be magical here. But guys, we're not over just yet. We are. Let me change screen. See you in 5 minutes. We're going to be doing the reward show in a few minutes here, but Peng and I are going to take a quick bathroom break. We will be right back to you for we get to the award show report thing. I know. We'll be back in a few.
I
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. Here is the award show for the reports here, as it will be one of, if not the last things we do for all you special people that we do for free, for fun, because you guys aren't getting any streams anyway, so who cares? But let us get into it. Peng,
Yeah, that's
Rhodes.
crazy, bro. Yo, that's actually crazy.
First off, though,
All right.
oh, I have to drink. Sorry, popcorn makes me have to drink water. 1 second.
I don't know where my water bottle went.
Okay.
Shit.
Anyway, here we go. It is going to be starting off the statistical categories in general here. Starting off with the most kills. At number 5, we have Slip and Slides Shadow, a very underrated person in this tournament. Tying for third is going to be both Holy Bonkers' Lego Grippy Socks with 195, as well with Holy Bonkers Zenith. And tied for first is going to be Tethered Esports' Whoopa and WGW Violet's Maurice, which I do find that quite interesting that they tie for first place, especially with teams that are technically in the lower ranks, but sometimes these players are just really good, and Whoopa as well, very underrated in general.
For a Sentinel player, him getting 200 kills is actually insane. I actually.
It's not bad at all, is
Shadow
it?
as well. Shadow as well. That's a lot of kills.
As we get to the next one, which is most assists.
Yeah, for most assists, coming out at number 5 is Holy Bonkers RTM with 86 assists. Number 4 is Pig on Nexus Black with 91 assists. Number 3 is Mystics from Tether Black, who had 95 assists. Moving on is Holy Bonkers Avery. He's controller player, but I had to switch with 95 assists. And then the person who had the most assists throughout the whole entire regular season is Zev from Banantry Black with 96 assists. Kind of a spread of more controller players and initiators here. Top 3 being all controller players who flexed a little throughout.
Yeah, for sure. It's very a lot of controller players, and then the initiators somehow are lower tier, or not lower tier, but have slightly less assists, which I do find a bit surprising, but overall not bad to them. As we move on to the most deaths, the biggest dire, I guess you could say. Fifth is going to be Arc Rose's Toys Owl with 182, Arc Rose's Sunset with 183, Tethered Esports' Black of Whoopa third with 183 as well, actually. So they are tied. Congratulations being tied in dying the most. Tethered Esports Black Mystic with 187 in second. And the biggest dyer in all the lands is WGW's Violet Maurice with 190 deaths. Good job, Dies. You guys are amazing at dying.
They ever feel like extra suicidal every game? To be fair, they had a lot of first bloods. Some of them, not all.
And they are smoking that Dabluski pack, as most First Bloods tells a bit of a different story.
Yeah. So coming in at number 5 for first bloods is Souls from 10 Foot Bus, who had 33 of them. Next we have Zai from Black Flash, who got 34. In third, we have Rain from WW Violet with 37 first bloods. Second is Lego Grippy, my big duelist guy who gets a lot of first bloods with 44. But in number 1, we have Whoopa, who just runs around as a central player with 46 first blood. That was a crazy one, actually.
Whoopa, most First Bloods, most kills, and third most deaths in the league. Just wants to be on all the statistics in general here. Maybe a very underrated player, but this player may also die a lot. But at least they get value in general at the end of the day. So you know what? Fair enough. As we get to the highest ACS category now, at number 5 is going to be Rain with 251 ACS. I believe it is average, or is it just highest average? Yeah, it's probably average ACS.
Average ACS.
Number 4 is going to be Kraz for Banana Tree Black. Number 3 is going to be 10-foot Gizmo. Wait, 10-foot Buzz Gizmo at number 3 with 255. Second is going to be Zenith from Holy Bonkers with 258. And a very surprising one at number 1 is Tom Tom from Saber Apex with 268 ACS, a player that it didn't play a total as much as the other players here, but 268 in, I believe, 9 games or so is still very impressive.
That's how you know he got no help. This guy is trying his hardest for his team. Unfortunate for him, but congrats, you won a statistical award. Anyways, next up is our highest cast award, which in fifth we have Souls with 80%. In fourth, we have Gizmo, his teammate, with 81%, just barely beating him out. In third, it's third, second, and first, it's all Holy Bonkers player, RTM with 82%, Zenith with 83, and our winner with Avery with 85. It's just the top two teams of each group.
I mean, that is pretty much expected in general there, but yeah, two teams here, a full house of these two teams in general, as now we get to the finale of the rating slash statistical highest of everything awards in general. It is going to be the highest rating made by the league. At number 5 is going to be RTM with 1.17. At number 4 for Nexus Black is going to be Santi with a 1.18. In third is Yogan from 10 Foot Bus with a 119. Second is Avery with a 1.23. And in first, Zenith with a 1.26. Once again, Holy Bonkers are dominating another category here, but Yogan and Santi come up ever so short.
I
Uh,
have, I have nothing
okay.
to say. Let's just move on to the panel award.
It is time, like you said. Let us get into the most underrated player in CES. Remember, this is all opinion based for these next awards here. Don't get mad at us. This is for fun. Please have fun here. Let's get into it.
All right, so our nominees for most underrated goes as Tether Black, the Sentinel, or Whoopa, the Sentinel for Tether Black, the Rain, the Duelist for WDW Violet, Shadow, the Sentinel of Slipslide Tactics, Tech, the Duelist for Arc Rose Toy, and Tom Tom, the Duelist for Iris Saber Apex. And our winner is
Say
boom,
it.
Shadow. From Slipslide Tactics, posting a 244 ACS, 160 ADR, 71% cast, 193 kills, 41 assists, and a rating of 1.07. Feel this is a very well-deserved win. I don't think we really talked about him much throughout the entire season, considering their team was not very good, but some really good stats coming out from him. So I think very well deserved.
Yeah, I think you and I mostly talked about is it Shadow or is it Tum Tum? But I think Shadow, just as a Sentinel player for Slip and Slide, they did have a slightly better result. But overall, I think, yeah, I mean, Shadow tried their best. Let's be honest here. 1.007 rating is good enough, especially as the Sentinel pool in general. The Sentinel crop, which we'll get to when we get to the best Sentinels, is so weak. I think Shadow was definitely a very good player in that right. But overall, congratulations to you, Shadow. Let's get to our best IGL, which only has 3 categories, mainly because I
We
actually
all
don't even.
suck.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks come down to this, but I think there's 3 that really did feel out, or not feel out, but I think there was 3 that we said we confidently agreed on. It is Arc Rose's Toy Seal, Black Flash's Dougson, and Holy Bunkers Avery. But there is definitely the best player throughout. I think there is a very good crop here. But Avery from Holy Bonkers is going to take this one with a 224 ACS, a 147 ADR, an 85% cast, 179 kills, 95 assists, and a 1.23 rating. I mean, hey, Avery absolutely OP this season, and of course there was other players that could show up here, but overall I think we can agree Avery was the best in this category.
I was lucky too lazy to extend it to 5 people. That's all I'm gonna say. But I think Avery, without a doubt, was gonna be the winner of this award either way.
I only knew 4 in general, and I could not think of 5.
Anyways, moving on. Oh, our next award is the best flex player. Our nominees are Banatry Black's Kraz, 10 Foot Bus's Gizmo, and Tether Black's Frame. And our winner is Kraz from Banana Tree Black, posting a 252 ACS, 166 ADR, 73% cast, 186 kills, 38 assists, and a rating of 1.12. I
This
think his flex pool was just so big. It was just insane. And he played I think he played all 4 roles and he played them all extremely well.
Yeah, Kraz played a lot. I think you can still make that difference with both Frame and Gizmo. I think all three of these players are top tier, like we did talk about in those player power rankings, but I do think Kraz does deserve, at the end of the day, the I don't want to say the only good player on Banana Tree Black, but has been such a instrumental player for this team that really has gotten them over the line of so many hiccups and is going to be one of the main reasons if they can make it through the playoffs in general. But this is a regular season power rankings. Playoffs do not matter even if they were played right now. So overall, Kraz, congratulations to yourself here. But we are not done. Let's get to our best of awards: best sentinel, best initiator, best controller, and best duelist. We're going to go from the weakest to the strongest here, and the weakest crop, I think we did have a pretty general consensus is the sentinel. No one plays sentinels anymore. No one really cares for this role whatsoever. But let's get into it. It is going to be Tethered Esports Black's Woopa, Banana Tree Black's The Sirens, Slip and Slide Tactics Shadow, Black Flash's Rin, and WGW Violet's Ver. I don't know. Either way, it is going to be going towards Tethered Esports' Black's Woopa. We said very underrated, and we meant it with a 225 ACS, 146 ADR, 70% cast, 200 kills, 50 assists, 1.0 rating, a lot of first bloods, a lot of kills, and a lot of deaths. This player plays at least to get something happening in a round.
Yeah, just pure eye test. I felt like he was such a solid sentinel, locking down sites, taking aggressive timing and lurks. He's basically just basically trying his best to do like basically what's the word? He's experimenting, trying to take as many timings as he can to see what will give him the best result. And he paid for it, but he did have a lot of first bloods too. So I think it's well deserved for him.
We need a first death award to see if he's also up there, but
I think he was pretty high. I think Sunset barely beat him out.
anyway,
Anyways,
best
getting to our
initiator.
next category is Best Initiator. Our nominees are myself from 10 Foot Bus, Luna from Tether Black, RTM from Holy Bonkers, Pig of Nexus Black, and then Black Flash is Dugson. And our winner is Dugson from Black Flash, posting a 206 ACS, 137 ADR, 74% cast, 137 kills, 85 assists, and a rating of 1.08. Once again, similar to Whoopa, it's just the eye test, man. This guy is probably the only person in quotation shooting back on Black Flash it felt. Plus, he's the IGL. He was doing a lot for the team. So this is very well deserved for him, and congratulations.
I think a lot of memories do serve too in that week one where Black Flash were so close to taking down Tethered Esports Black, but it just did not go well enough for them. And I think Dougson can definitely bring this team forward. Unfortunately, will not be happening here in this series as they were eliminated, but we'll see what happens in Boba. As congratulations to Dougson overall. Again, very weak initiator categories. It felt like very weak sentinel categories. Controller and duelist, turn shit up. Let's get into it. Best controller: 10 Foot Bus's Yogan, Nexus Black Santi, Holy Bonkers is Avery, Arc Rose Toy Seal, and Tethered Esports Black Mystic. Let me tell you, there is a top three here. I'm not going to say whether it's top three, but holy crap, it could be
Okay.
close if Avery wasn't so good. Winning this one, 224 ACS, 147 ADR, 85% cast, like we mentioned, which is crazy. 179 kills, 95 assists, and a 1.23 rating. I mean, Avery kind of just destroyed, but like the all these nominees in general deserve so much, and we're very entertained to watch. But I mean, duelists are going to get even better, which you're about to get to soon.
Yay, I get the fun category of pissing everyone off. Yay. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Our nominees
Bloodbath.
for Best Doula is 10 Foot Bus Souls, Gizmo from 10 Foot Bus as well, Holy Bonkers Lego Grippy Socks, Arcros Toys Tech, and Zenus is from Holy Bonkers. A lot of teams with their first duelist and secondary duelist,
There could
and
be
then
three
plus
or
tech.
four more people in this category. We could have this at nine, and it still wouldn't feel full.
Yeah, it was hard to bring it down to five, but I think we've got a solid five players here. But anyways, Our winner for Best Duelist is, of course, Zenith from Holy Bonkers, posting a 258 ACS, 167 ADR, 83% cast, 195 kills, 32 first bloods, and a rating of 1.26. I think Rhodes, you might have a better opinion on him than me. What
I
do you
mean,
think about this guy?
it's really a question of, I think at the end of the day, Zenith, Lego Grippy Socks, Gizmo, and I think all three of these players were absolutely instrumental to their teams. But I think Zenith just slightly had the favor over Lego Grippy Socks in general. I believe did have less first bloods, but in all the other categories was just so more impactful. They had a lot of assists that really helped out the rating in general. I think that is why Zenith overall does have the highest rating from what we saw earlier. Why did I almost say that so European? But overall, I think Zenith is just very good player in general, and I mean this whole category, like we said, anything could have ultimately made it happen, but Zenith will be up there, and congratulations to themselves in general.
Oh,
As
it's
yeah,
time for the
sorry, go on.
last one.
It
You got
is
this.
the MVP where things come to die in this award show. We will be doing the all teams as well after this, which we will get to. Should we do the MVP at the end? Nah, it's fine.
You, nah.
It's fine. Regular season MVP is all about the most valuable player on your team, and things have gone back and forth for sure with this one. But Black Flash's Dougson, 10-foot buses Gizmo, Banana Tree Black's Kraz, Holy Bonkers Avery, and Holy Bonkers Zenith. We went back and forth talking about this. It was a very interesting discussion on why this person should win, why this person should win. But overall, we came onto a consensus of this player is an IGL that completely dominated the space, was absolutely amazing in the role as well, and just was able to do so many different things for their team. So that is why Holy Bunkers' Avery is going to win the MVP award with that highest cast. We went through all the stats already, but I'll go through it once again. 224 ACS, 147 ADR, 179 kills, 95 assists with 1.23 rating. Avery was the most valuable player, it felt like, throughout the season, was on every single top 10 list that we had with those player power rankings, and I don't think there is a better player to do it right now with how special they played throughout the series.
Yeah, to put it simply, he's the IGL. He unlocks the his other two teammates, Lego Grippy and Zenith, while still pulling amazing stats. So I think this is very well deserved. I feel like he's just been a great player for Holy Bonkers throughout the entirety of the season. No days off, just pure frags and calling.
Yeah, congratulations to them. But that is going to now be all our best of and MVP categories as we get to the all role teams where we have top three from all a sentinel, initiator, controller, and duelist. Let's get to our first one. Explain our all sentinel team.
This is a hard category. I won't lie to pick actually 5 players. I feel like the Sentinel category is pretty weak considering the meta. It's really hard to hold sites, but I think it came to a consensus of Slip and Slide Tactics, Shadow, Tethered Black's Woopa, and WW Violet's Ver. I think this is a solid list of people to represent the top 3 Sentinels in the league.
Again, though, the top teams really don't run Sentinels much, and even Woopa can be a quote-unquote stretch because, I mean, they play a lot of Viper and whatnot, but
I
Peng
mean,
views Viper
Viper's
as a
basically a
Sentinel, so
Sentinel.
that is why I
Yeah.
was going to explain that. Our all initiator team is going to be RT Meg, Dougson, and Luna here for the top initiators. So at least Luna gets his flowers, so you'll stop bitching at me in the chat. But either way, it was a weaker crop. Dougson definitely is that top player, but overall, very special players in general, and all of them, except for Dougson, unfortunately, will be going to that playoffs. Man, I would love to see Dougson in the playoffs, but it is what it is here. As now, let's get to our all controller team.
Yeah, this is the fun team. This was a very close category, I'd say. But overall, I think these 3 people are the ones that take it across the line for me. It's 10-foot buses Yogan, Avery from Holy Bonkers, and Santi from Nexus Black. These 3 put up amazing stats for controllers and just overall very impactful.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what these teams will do in the playoffs. Like we mentioned before, as the all duelist team is Gizmo, Zenith, Lego Grippy, two Holy Bunkers players, many Holy Bunkers players in the all team. So you can see why they are so impactful and so good throughout this entire report so far. But Gizmo here as well and is going to look to eliminate the potentially overhyped team in general. As now, let us get to the all CES team. We're starting off with our third all CS team. This is not going by roles. This is essentially the top 15 players, but don't think about it that way. We're just kind of shooting the shit. Let's go.
Yeah, this is just top 15 players. Let's start off. We have from Iris Saber Apex Tom Tom. From Tethered Block, we have Woopa from Slipslide Tactics. We have Shadow from Arc Rose Toy. We have Tech, and from Holy Bonkers, we have RTM. Yeah, it's just from this is 11 to 15 players. They all played very solid. They haven't been overall the most consistent, but they definitely had some very good games in some matches.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll have just so many good players throughout the season in general. Shadow and Tom Tom would have benefited if they're on better teams, but you know, it is what it is. Our second all CS team is going to be from Nexus Black Santi, 10-foot buses Souls, Tethered Esports Blacks' Frame, 10-foot buses Yogan, and Holy Bonkers' Lego Grippy Sock. Lego slightly edged out in the top. I think there is definitely a big thing we could say Lego could be top five, but you know, it can't all be Holy Bonkers throughout this entire thing, I guess. As we get to the final slide in our report here for the season. Again, this might be the end of all things of the report for CES. Peng, tell us about the all
Oh,
CES first team.
this is this is one actually the roles make sense for once. But these are all the nominees from the MVP award. It's Black Flash's Dugson, 10 Foot Bus's Gizmo, Banantry Black's Kraz, Holy Bonkers Avery, and Holy Bonkers Venus. Feel all these players showed exceptional form throughout the entire season, and I think this is very deserving of being in the first All CES team.
Yeah, all these players are very good at what they've done throughout everything. And do you have any closing thoughts today across what we've done in the word show or throughout the report as well?
No, I just had a lot of fun making this. Remember, guys, this is just for fun. This is our opinion. Don't take anything personally. I just like doing this, and just thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone for watching throughout the entire series. In general, this was a big thing for Peng doing all of these slides in under 2 days. So please, in the chat, give me your props if you haven't already. I appreciate everyone for joining us here, and at least the ones especially that were not trolling and being assholes in the chat. But thank you, everyone, for watching throughout the entire series. We will catch you next time for whatever we do here. Thank you if you do join me for future streams in general. But this has been the report. We will see you next time. Goodbye forever.